it's a rugged people, Arizona. You know, there's everybody's packing. Like we went for a walk last night, and there was a truck parked on the sidewalk, first of all, and it had bullet holes along the whole back tailgate. And I thought that they were just, you know, with those little stickers you put on. We went up and felt them. Those were actual bullet holes sprayed on the truck, man. Yeah. But you know what? It's kind of brilliant. If you're trying to deter people from robbing you, brilliant. You know, okay, forget the sign that says "Beware of dog." Give me a truck with a Smith protected by Smith and Wesson. You know, a gun rack in the back window. Yeah. The robbers are going to skip you. They're going to go next door to the Prius and get that house.
Oh, I have a Prius.
Oh, you have one. You might want to consider putting bullet holes in the back. Little Godfather. Even the plants here in Arizona, just everything's, you know, the plants will mess you up, you know? You go outside, my mom's got this cactus garden, and there's a cactus called the Ocotillo, and it's just all, you know, just thorns and attitude, like, you know, you looking at me? You looking at me? Like, hey, you know what else grows here? Nothing. Give me your shoes. And then there's that one cactus she's got that just stands there like it's being mugged all the time. I have a family, don't hurt me. I have prickly children. And last night I did a gig in, where were we? Oh, it was Oro Valley, it was nearby. And on the way back, we saw a herd of javelinas. I don't know. I get it right? They're like little devil pigs with fangs. Yeah. I felt like it was Jurassic Park, and the animals had gotten out from the. Oh. And they were fearless. They just looked at me like, I'm walking here, all right? I'm walking. Telling you. And by the way, they come out at night, but where do they hide? Where does this beast, this monster hide in the daytime, man? In your closet. I don't know. But I've been working on ships quite a bit, and I worked on Carnival not that long ago. I appreciate, Carnival's great. The shows are great. The people are awesome. The accommodations, you know, I got the room next to the anchor, and No. I don't think it's an accident that the comics get the anchor room, but it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's just like every morning.
No.
I'm like, and I live in California. I'm like, get the water. It's a big one. Go, go, go. Yeah, it's so tiny. I wish I could take you all on a field trip so you could see what it's like to, I mean, the room is so small that you can touch both walls at the same time. We don't get a window. It's like not even one of those little washing machine circles, nothing. So, yeah. So you do 3 shows upstairs, and then you go down to your kennel. They open the door, and I didn't even want to come out. I'm like, I feel safe here. No toiletries. You get there, and if you didn't bring your own stuff, you are on your own, sailor. Oh. But upstairs, like people who sail Carnival, it's for the passengers. It's awesome. It's the most fun. The shows are more fun than any other ship on the whole sea, and they make a big deal of you. You know, like you may have seen them on HBO or stealing soap from your cleaning cart. Come on. Oh, Yeah, Carnival's fun because of the drink package. they have a package where you get 15 drinks a day. 15. Yeah. Like a group of executives sat around a table going, so what do you think would be a reasonable amount? 15 drinks? Yeah. One every hour for every hour they're awake all day, every day, 15?
That works.
That works, yeah. Like when the doctor goes, would you say you had 1 or 2 drinks a day or 15? I have 15. It's my package. Are you a social drinker? Very social.
Only while on social media.
Yeah, so at least the best part about working on the cruise ship is I don't have to put gas in my car. Man. Oh. Holy cow. I filled my tank before I left. Well, I filled half of it and I put the other half on layaway. It was $6.25 near the airport. $6.25 a gallon, man.
No.
I mean, at what point do we have to have an intervention or something? I don't know. It was only like a month ago that I was in Kansas. I was doing a gig in Kansas. Yeah, Career on Fire. And
4.25.
4.25 in Kentucky. Yeah, see, that's wrong. Kentucky. I was in Kansas and it was like $2.85 a gallon. I called Patty. Yeah, I called Patty and she was like, oh, she wasn't impressed. She's like, that's cool. Is there a time difference? Yeah, it's 1995 in Kansas right now. Yeah, so when I work on the ships, I have to download a lot of stuff that you can, you watch it offline. I just watched the documentary on the Beatles. Did you guys see that? The Get Back on the Disney Channel? Yeah. I love the Beatles, so I was all in, but, at the end of the day, it's 8 hours of small talk, right? Like nothing happens in the whole damn thing. And then they kept saying that the director, Peter Jackson, had to pare it down to get it to 8 hours. I'm like, what did you cut out? Sleeping? Yeah, so the last thing, I guess, I have to get on an airplane in the morning, so I'm already getting that. I have to wake up at 4:30. I took a Southwest airline on the way here, and I was there really early, and the attendant started going through all that Southwest stick, You may experience turbulence, and you know what? Disneyland would charge you for that. Oh, it's too early. And then the lady next to me goes, she's just like a stand-up comedian. I'm like, oh. So when people don't laugh, she loses her job, right? That's how that works. Moving back in with mom. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's my time as your host. My name's Jason Love. Thank you all for coming. We have feedback from one of the squares, and I couldn't look at it when I was doing my little talent show there, but I'll take a look. If you have feedback in your square, folks, just mute yourself if you can tell. Sometimes you can't even tell what's happening. I was just getting it from my mom right now, so it happens that easily. But we have such a great lineup. Everyone's going to do a 10-minute set, and it's always my pleasure to share these comedians with you. And our first comedian, I've worked with her quite a bit. She comes from my hometown. She's a regular at Levity Live. Put your hands together. If I could find her. Where are we? There she is. Denise Carter, everybody. Let her hear it. Denise Carter.
Hey, Denise. Thank you. And what's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight? Yes. A little bit about me. I come from a small town. Well, I was born in a small town called Port Hueneme. Most people can't spell it.
Love Port Hueneme.
Huemene, Hueneme. I was raised in a town called Colonia. Most people want to run from it. I come from a large family. I just happen to be the largest one. I tell you, there were 8 of us. My mother and father had a party. Every year we had a kid. Like we're a year and 8 days apart. I couldn't imagine having 8 kids. Every year a kid. I had 2 and I was done. Can you imagine if my parents would have been doing this thing in the pandemic, how many sets of twins we could have had? I was like, no way. And I didn't even like my sisters and brothers. They're just like a pain. I've got a sister. My sister and I like to say she's larger than me. Like, I'm telling you, I come from a big family. I'm just the biggest one, unless my sister's out there. She out there. Every month she calls me, Denise, yeah, Doris, what's up? We're going on a diet. Like, what diet are we going on this time, Doris? Slim fast. Slim fast? Look at me, I don't slim fast, I slim slow.
Me too.
It's ridiculous. She's this, it's so ridiculous that she tries to put me on a diet all the time. I just gave up. My sister is a hairdresser. She's been doing my hair all my life. That's why I wear wigs. My hair is so thin, you can read my mind. Grocery store, check. Feed the dog, check. My husband is bald. She does his hair for the last 20 years. And I said, how much are you paying her? He said, $25 plus a tip. I said, you're getting butchered. Obviously, she's cutting his nose hair and his ears hair because he's bald, guys. He's bald. He came home one day and he said, Denise, guess what I've decided? I said, what? He's like, I'm gonna retire. Okay. He's like, yeah, I was thinking about retirement is a good thing. And I was like, okay, sounds like a great plan. So now he decided to get his PhD, guys. Public high school diploma. Now he says the craziest things to me every day. I come home from work, he's like, hey, what's for dinner? I don't know, you've been here all day. He's like, well, what are you thinking about? I said, I'm thinking about my doctor put me on a plant-based diet and I'm gonna plant myself over here until you come up with something to eat. Plant-based diet. Really. What are you thinking about? And I said, no, plant-based diet. I'm gonna plant here. I'm gonna sit here until you come up with something. So he said to me, since you're sitting there, why don't you go through the mail? And he slaps a stack of mail in front of me. So I go through the mail and I discover we have dismemberment insurance. Do you know you could get $20,000 for a toe and $30,000 for a finger? And I start thinking, what could I get rid of? Well, I need this finger to make my wine glass look sexy. I need this finger to show people I'm married. And I kind of need this finger just in case I have a little road rage. And I need this finger just in case I run into a problem. And I need this finger because I'm a full figure woman. I need to have balance. And I looked at him and I said, you don't need none of this. Dismemberment insurance. So if you see a man running around here with no fingers and a couple of toes missing, dismemberment insurance. Since he's been retired, he told me the other day, he's like, Denise, you remember that sleep study I had? I said, yes. He said, the doctor kept calling me up and they're going to give me a pap smear machine. And I said, a pap smear machine? He said, yes. I said, a pap smear machine? He said, yes. And I said, you mean a CPAP machine? He said, what did I say? I said, you said pap smear machine. I get through telling everybody at Grace who loves Comedy Club that you got a pap smear machine, they're going to wonder what the heck I'm doing with you. We've been married for over 20 years. I tell you, he's the greatest guy, but he's not too bright, not too bright. He told me the other day, he said, Denise, he was ironing my clothes because he likes to get me ready for work and leave the house. He says, Denise, you know, you got a hole in your britches. And I said, I got a hole in my britches? He said, yes, you got a hole in your britches. I said, is it a big hole or a little hole? Because I'm a big woman. I'm thinking if it's a little hole, I could probably get away with it. Nobody will ever know. He said, well, it's kind of like the 3 C's. And I was like, confidence, control, commitment. He's like, no, not none of those. It's like the 3 C's. And I was, what's that? He said, your coochie gonna catch a cold.
Now that's good.
I said, well, let me go out. Let me take a look at these pants, these bitches, and see if they really got a big hole or something. So I'll take a look, had to investigate, come to find out it was a big hole. So we send them to the cleaners, and now we got those britches reinforced. I didn't know you can get your britches reinforced, but apparently you can. Yes, be careful about those 3 C's, people. Be careful about those 3 C's. You know, I tell my husband all the time I want to go on a diet. He tells me I'm going to help you. I said, how are you going to help me? He says, I'm going to send you to one of those weight loss doctors. I said, a weight loss doctor? He said, yes. So he sent me over to one of those weight loss clinics, and the lady told me, she's the Indian lady. She says, you can lose weight, but you got to do one thing. I said, one thing. She said, stay away from everything white. I said, everything white? She said, yes. White flour, white sugar, and white bread. And I was like, so I got to quit my job? And my boyfriend? I don't know, but that was funny to me. That was funny to me. you married to an old man when he puts transmission fluid in your car instead of oil. And I just watched him do it. I didn't say nothing. I figured that was one way to get me a new car. I got me a brand new Lexus hybrid.
Fancy.
Yeah, my mother told me I ought to be ashamed of myself for not saying anything. I said, Mom, listen, if you can get a new car and you don't say nothing, and you can ride off in a hybrid in these hybridized classic gases, yeah, you do the same thing. She said, Denise, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I said, Mom, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Everybody knows you're into short-term relationships. She said, Denise. I said, Mama, you know you like picking up men from the nursing home. She said, Denise. I said, you showed up last week. You had a bag, you had a wallet, a comb, and a Medicare card. And I said, whose stuff is this? She said, my boyfriend. I said, well, where is he at? She's like, he's at the nursing home. And I said, why do you have his stuff? He's not going to need it where he's going. I said, well, where's he going? Everything was fine till Host Spice showed up. I said, Host Spice? She said, yeah. I said, what is that, a Spice Girl? She said, no. I said, is that an Indian? Like, with spice? The feather without a dot? No. It's when they give you morphine and you start snoring. I said, are you talking about hospice?
Oh my God.
Hospice. I said, Mom, that's hospice. That's not Host Spice. She said, look here, my paper says Host Spice. I said, Mom, there's no space between the S and the O. It's hospice. She said, look here, Denise, the doctor said it was Host Spice, and that's just what it's going to be. Mama, Old Spice it is. Old Spice it is.
That's right. Mama. It was pissed.
Yes, indeed. Tell you, my husband told me, he said, look, I'm going to help you lose weight, Denise, if it's the last thing I do, and we're not going to take you to those nursing homes and give you no Host Spice. I said, okay, what are we going to do? He said, I'm going to take you hiking. I said, hiking? My inside voice said, do I look like I want to go hiking? He said, well, my outside voice looked at him and said, sure, honey, I'll go anywhere with you. So he took me up north. I went up this hill. And when I noticed the sign said, beware of mountain lions and bobcats. As I got closer, it said, don't turn your back and don't crouch in front of a mountain lion. And I thought, wow, he's taking me hiking. So I got on that trail and I started walking. It was like, shh, 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 shh. I stopped, it stopped. Shh, shh. I'm walking. And there was a hole in the ground. I said, hey, what's up with the holes in the ground? He said, oh, that's for the snakes. Snakes? So now I can't walk and concentrate. So I'm walking. I stopped, it stopped. Why was it my thighs rubbing together? Right thigh said to the left guy, I go, you go. I go, you go. I tell you, there's nothing like being a full-figured woman and you can't take a hike. That's my time.
All right. Denise, let her hear it, everybody. Denise Carter.
Right.
Thank you, Jason.
All right. Fantastic.
Hilarious.
You got some comments in the chat section there, Denise. You could check them out. Diane Hart liked your plant-based bit, and Carmen said, you tell your hubby the same thing. Check them out there. Okay, and for the other comics, if you could look for my video to pop up, that's a 1 minute light. If you could acknowledge that, because we have more of a tight schedule, but I don't want to keep everybody late. I want to, kind of keep things on time. So we'll just keep rolling this and give you like maximum bang for your buck, for your $5 that you worked so hard for.
Yeah.
Okay. Your next comedian, everybody, super funny guy, and he is, I wanted to get him on the lineup sooner, but I just decided to squeeze him in because he couldn't do our next date, but he's worth it. He's a good friend of mine and really funny. He won LA's Funniest Comedian, as a matter of fact. Put your hands together for Dave Devito.
All right, everyone hear me okay there?
Yeah.
Excited to be here. I'm obviously a much more successful comedian than Jason Love. I could afford a picture for my white wall. So that's it's interesting doing a show on Zoom. At least if I say something that offends you, no one can slap me. So that's exciting.
Whoa.
It's just a fact, ma'am. I'm excited to be here. My last show is in Texas. I made a mistake of going up on stage in Texas wearing a New York Yankees t-shirt.
Not
The
cool.
audience stands up. He just goes, hey, you better be from New York if you're wearing that shirt. We don't take kindly to...
Oh.
Dude was wearing a Superman shirt. I was like, I am from New York. Somehow I doubt you're from Krypton. I don't wear that shirt anymore, man, because you wear sports shirts, dudes just come up to you and they start talking to you about sports, right? And I always forget I'm wearing the shirt and I have no idea what they're talking about. Like, man, we really kicked the crap out of Carolina. I'm like, dude, you really need to stop bragging about the Civil War. 150 years ago, move on. Sports fans? We're sports fans here? Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, nice. Sports fans, man. Sports fans ruin sports the way children ruin Disneyland. I was at a Giants game back home in New York. There's a dude 150 rows behind me, painted blue, just being like, let's go Giants! let's go Giants for an hour and a half. I was like, dude, if you put half this much energy into your career, you'd have better seats.
Okay.
I used to travel a lot for comedy before the lockdowns of the pandemic. My last big one was in England. I went there right before we locked down the year before, 2019. I was there for Thanksgiving. They're not like too into that over there. They're rude about it though. This one British dude was like, Thanksgiving, what a ridiculous holiday. I mean, just think how many turkeys you Americans had to kill to get Thanksgiving. I was like, that's nothing, dude. Just think how many British we had to kill to get the 4th of July. Huge. I used to travel a lot. I spent 6 months in Australia doing comedy. 6 months in Australia, I could not find one Outback Steakhouse. Weird saying a joke and sort of waiting for the response. I guess it's better than like I did one of those drive-in shows and everyone honked, you know, when they liked a joke. It was like a living version of the Facebook button, right? Like everyone's in their cars and, you know, every once in a while you hear a honk. So people are sitting there during your jokes being like, no. Oh, honk. It's hard doing those shows, right? It's hard doing like a drive-in comedy show because you can't see the people, right? It's really hard to do crowd work. You got to use the cars, you know? I was in Ventura. I was like, man, there sure are a lot of Koreans here tonight. Because the cars, Korean cars? No, nothing. This is like the opposite of traveling for comedy though. I'm literally here. You're here in my house. This is where I live. This is my this is not mine. That's embarrassing. That's not some chick I was banging left this here. That's ridiculous. That's not mine. This one is mine. That's Baby Yoda. Love you, baby. Mine. That other one, that's not mine. I don't know where you guys are. I'm in LA. So LA is a particular kind of place, right? Movie stars, sunshine, glitz and glamour. And no one will stand to the side on an escalator so you can pass. They just won't do it. It's a dog-friendly place, man. It really is. Everyone has a dog here, man. I saw it today. I swear to God, I saw this. This happened today. I saw a blind guy standing on the corner with a seeing eye dog, right? And then a woman walked past him carrying an emotional support dog, right? And I swear to God, when the emotional support dog passed by, the seeing eye dog rolled his eyes.
Right.
You gotta watch out.
No.
Oh no.
He's like, I got everything, man. I got 12 gallons of water and 10 weeks of canned food and lanterns and spare batteries and extra cash. He's like, do you have any of that stuff, man? I'm like, I don't have any of that stuff, man. I just have a gun and your address. This is weird. I don't know if I like seeing myself, man, because I feel chubby today. You know what I mean? I've been packing on the pounds, right? It's because I got a girlfriend, right? I'm not hunting for women anymore. And if you're not a hunter, you're a gatherer. They say you got to eat real slow because it takes 20 minutes for the message to get from your stomach to your brain that you're full. I'm like, you're assuming I was even hungry when I started eating. Man, it's crazy. I got to start taking care of my health. I'm trying hard to quit smoking, but it's difficult, right? Because I was walking down the street, I saw an 80-year-old woman smoking a cigarette, 80 years old. And when you're addicted to something and you see that, you're like, you see that? Not everyone dies, right? If everyone died, no one would smoke, but not everyone dies, you know? When you're a smoker, you see an 80-year-old woman smoking a cigarette, you're like, congratulations. You smoked your whole life. That is awesome. I was like, how old are you? She was like, I'm 38. I was like, oh no.
That's a good joke.
Oh man, my drinking got bad during the pandemic. One night I drank so much, I blacked out. I woke up and I had an email thanking me for sponsoring a child in Uganda.
Oh.
And now I got to pay $50 a month every month till this kid turns 18, right? You can't back out now. It's ridiculous. Like, I got friends who have to pay child support because of drunken mistakes, but I didn't even get to sleep with anybody. I want to save the world when I drink, right? One night I got so drunk, I adopted a polar bear. Online, I sent in $75. They sent me a certificate and a picture of my polar bear. I'm a proud father. That made me feel so good about myself. I adopted another one. I sent in $75. They sent me a certificate and a picture of the same bear. It's a scam, right? It's a scam, right? Because people have been donating money to polar bears for years and they're still endangered. It's because it's all going to this one bear. And that's it, right? That's it. Because half his population is dying of starvation, losing their habitat. He's sitting there with all the Coca-Cola he can drink. That's an old reference. I don't know if I want to be a parent, right? Because I'm getting older. I don't know if I want to be an old parent, right? Because like, I have a friend who's 50 and he has a 3-year-old, right? And kids learn everything from watching their parents, right? So she's 3 years old. Every time she bends over to pick something up, she goes, ah. Okay, you know something? Thank you very much, everybody. You guys have been great. And I'll go maybe put on some pants or something.
Oh, nicely done. Dave Devito, everybody. Dave Devito. Great job, man. Dave always brings the fire. Dave also does magic, so he's got 2 jobs and still no health care. Just like me, Dave, just like me. And you got some good comments. Jan Garza loved your smoker bit about the 30-year-old looking 80. Super funny. Hey, guys, before I forget, I'm going to share the screen. This is our next show. It's on May 15th. We hope you'll join us. I haven't booked it yet because now that all the comedians are working, I find that half of them cancel, so I don't want to have to do it twice. I'm just going to wait till we get a little closer. And Fritz Coleman, by the way, he wanted me to personally apologize to you on his behalf. It's the Ice House 50th anniversary tonight, and so he went there, yeah. But he's going to join us for the next one, so yeah.
Yay.
All right, and so I'm going to keep this train rolling. I'm going to give you guys, all the comedians, their proper time because they deserve it. Your next comedian is super funny. I think I met her at the Ice House, as a matter of fact. She's also an accomplished actor, a lot of great TV credits. Put your hands together for the very funny Kristi McHugh.
Hey, everybody. Wow, this is so cool. Jason, thank you so much. It was the Ice House. That was many moons ago. I haven't done a lot of these. Through the pandemic, I did a few. The first one I didn't know how to do all the technical stuff. And I was at my family's house in Iowa and they're all like wanting to watch it upstairs. So I went down in the basement, I did it. And it just didn't work out well. I had a bunch of problems trying to get the thing to work. So I'm walking upstairs and I'm like, well, I'm never doing that again. That was awful. And my whole family looks at me and they're like, you didn't turn the mute on. They heard me say that I was a big old shit show. What are you gonna do? We're out of this. Pandemic, it's over. Is it over? Yeah. Thank God.
Maybe.
It was difficult. I knew things were getting bad. I live in LA, Venice Beach, and I knew things were getting bad when I caught my mailman Brian pounding White Claws in the bushes. Not even a lie. Yeah. White Claws is my neighbor's cat. So that was uncomfortable to see. The masks, I don't even recognize people now because of the masks. You know, I'll go out somewhere and, oh, now I see who you are. You know, like, yeah, I'm your boyfriend. So I made him wear a mask. I'm like, no, you're not getting anything tonight unless you wear a mask. So I got him a Matthew McConaughey mask. Full face mask. I went to Florida. I went to Florida a lot during the pandemic because, you know, they didn't have COVID there. Florida was fun. And when I travel, it's a lot. Most comics are men, right? So I travel, and I was with 3 other guys during this tour. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show them I can hang with the boys. I took them as a surprise to the original Hooters, which is in Florida, right? Good idea in theory. Unfortunately, they had the original waitresses.
Oh.
Show us your boobs. Raise your pant leg, Ethel. I spent some time in Iowa, where I'm from. I went back home to Iowa. Denise, you have a big family. I have 7 in my family, big family also. And my mom's getting older, and it's always hard when you see a parent like getting older and you see all those things they're kind of failing, and she gets words mixed up all the time. I have a movie coming out a week from today, Night Caller. It's going to be in theaters in LA. So I'm telling my mom about it. I'm like, yeah, it's a scary movie. It's a horror film. So she tells everybody at the home her daughter's in a horror movie. The guys can't wait to see it. She's kind of got the forgetsies. I'm the youngest of 7. She had me when she was 47.
Wow.
So I know.
Wow.
Look at it. It turned out so great. Yeah. I'm doing shows out of my living room. Anywho, I have a brother who passed away like 20 years ago. My mom's kind of got the forgetsies, and it's just difficult to see. I go back, I'm there for Thanksgiving, and my sister-in-law has since remarried. She has her kids, and they come to our family events. So she walks in with her new husband. My mom leans over at the table to me. She's like, what is she doing here with that man? What is your brother Philip gonna say? And I go, Mom, I know. Because that's fun to watch the rest of the family gathering. My mom just glaring at her. Oh, what fun we have. My brothers always like to bring up, hey, Mom, you should tell Kristi. Tell her she was a mistake. I'm like, was I a mistake? She's all, you all were. Fun to hear. And she gets on me, why can't you give me some grandkids like your sisters did? Like, because I don't like the taste of tequila. I don't know about having kids, you know? I have like 32 nieces and nephews. So I tell my little niece Hannah, last time I was home, I'm like, listen, Aunt Kristi's gonna tell you a secret. Nobody's gonna tell you. Mommy and Daddy are getting a divorce. Because you didn't clean your room. He's a little shit, this one. Some children should be left behind. And I have a friend, I'm at the age now, I have a friend, and she wanted me to give her son the sex talk. I'm like, what? I changed this kid's diaper. She's like, come on, you're a comedian. You can put a funny twist on it. He trusts you. Mm-hmm. So I sat him down. I said, look, Evan, first of all, what we did was wrong. Okay. Oh, and that's how you get yourself out of babysitting, ladies and gentlemen. I just got a text. That is not funny.
There you are.
I don't know. Things are getting better here. I feel so some places, I don't know where you are in the country, but some places still got to wear the mask. Some you don't. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I've been kind of a bit of a walking Curb Your Enthusiasm episode of late. So I've been doing, this is kind of a disclaimer. I've been doing a joke for probably 15 years about my high school softball coach. She was abusive. She pulled my hair one time. She was a deaf lesbian and she was our softball coach. And we were kind of mean to her. Okay. In our defense, she was not a nice person. So like we would be on the bus, you know, and she's driving us to the away game and she would look in the rear view mirror and we would just be saying bad things about her. Horrible kid stuff, right? And she'd look in the rear view mirror and she's like, Brittany, you know I can read your lips. Like yelling at me, right? So I've kind of made a joke about it. Whatever. It gets a little bit more of a laugh than tonight. Awesome. Anyway, so cut to, I'm going to the UPS store in Santa Monica. I go in and there's a girl standing at one side of the desk with the attendant. There's an open place for me to go up. So I go up. This girl is clearly into her transaction. She's got 4 boxes. She's on her 3rd one. I roll up there. Guy's helping me. He's got trainee here. And he goes, oh, can't help you if you don't have the mask on. And I'm like, well, so I'm kind of looking over at the girl and she looks at me like, don't get me messed up in your stuff. So then the trainee goes, the guy who was training him, he's like, just let her go. It's fine. I'm like, okay, great. So I'm starting, all of a sudden, UPS queen, like employee of the year comes out. She's like, you cannot be here if you don't have a mask on. We cannot help you. So once again, I look over and I'm like, what about, so the girl turns to the woman behind the desk and she goes, you cannot do that to her. So she's sticking up for me. And I'm like, I cannot do this joke anymore. I just was like, you know, great. So I'm thinking it's a sign. Okay, cut to the next day. I'm at the local coffee shop and I'm sitting there working away. All of a sudden, a man who was at the table next to me jumps up, grabs his walker and flies out of the door. And I see his little Patagonia baseball cap he left behind. And I, as many times I do, want to be, you know, saving the day girl. And I'm like, barista, hold my stuff. I got to go get this guy his baseball cap. So I run out and I can't find him. Like, he can't go that far. He's got a walker, right? So I'm walking out and he's around the corner and his back is to me. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, you left your baseball. He turns around and his boy parts are flying all over. And I'm like, oh my God, who shows up but the UPS deaf girl? And I'm like, hey, she's thinking she can help me out again because she did earlier, right? I'm like, and this too. She goes, I'm deaf, not blind. That's how my day's been going. I got some good news. I got some good news today. This morning, I found out I am not with child. Thank you. Which is fantastic because I am not with husband. That's right. That's right. Yep. He moved in last week. And this morning he moved out. Hey, you guys have been a lot of fun. Thank you, Jason Love. Bye-bye.
All right. Kristi McHugh, everybody. Kristi McHugh. Fantastic. Hey, guys, before I forget, Tony was good enough to put in the chat section the donating technique or payment methods there. So if you would like to help out the show, that's the way to do it. And a couple of you are a little hot on the mic, maybe too close to the microphone. And we really love your laughter and we need it. I don't want to discourage it, but maybe just take a half step back so it's kind of not as overbearing so we can also hear the comics. But you guys have been fantastic so far. And we have 2 more acts and I'm excited to bring them to you. Your next act used to live here in LA when I got to see him more. He won the Boston Comedy Festival and he's got a great dry bar comedy special. Check it out. Put your hands together for the very funny Dwight Slade.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone wave. So hello. Everyone wave. That's good. You like the shirt? Huh? You like the shirt?
Yeah. Lovely.
TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx. I love it. It's good. Can everybody hear me, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love how Zoom has turned everyone into a 90-year-old man. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I love Zoom. I got invited to a Zoom happy hour. Right. So now I can yeah, I can be socially awkward virtually. That's fun. My favorite thing about Zoom, though, is that little button in the corner that says leave meeting. God. Wouldn't that be great to have that in your everyday life? There's some loudmouth going on with his opinion, and you're just like, you know what? We're going to say leave the meeting. Bye-bye. Going bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later. No more. I do want to thank Zoom for making the word mute the most misunderstood word in the English language. Nobody can get it. It's no matter how many times you go over, there's one guy. Hey, are you in the kitchen? Yeah, bring me a soda. Yeah. It's not on. They can't hear me. No, it's not on. But things are looking up. The masks are going away, which is fine for me because I have bad mask envy. I don't know about you. Everyone has such great masks, and I have awful masks. These are the ones that I have. Remember these guys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Paper towel with the rubber bands on them. Yeah. That's going to help with the pandemic. Yeah. Hey, Dwight, you keeping safe? Yeah, with my modified diaper. The worst thing about wearing a mask, though, is the fact that you can only express emotion from the eyes up. And I always overdo it. It doesn't matter how hard I try. I'm always like, hi, how are you doing? Oh, you're going to Whole Foods? Oh, I love Whole Foods. I really love Whole Foods. Can be very expensive, though. Very expensive. Is this your dog? Oh, what kind of dog is it? Oh, it's a Yorkie. I love Yorkies. That's great. I have to go to the ER room now because my face is frozen. So I'm originally from Houston, Texas. Thank you. I was in Atlanta. This lady goes, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Houston." She said, "My friend Barry lives in Dallas." Oh, well, that's a different place. Are you new to conversations? I've been traveling a little bit. Did my first show in New Orleans. Never been there. Flew into the Louis Armstrong International Airport. I think it's cool. They named their airport after that musician. I think it would be interesting if they started doing that with other musicians. You'd be flying along in 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to land at Snoop Dogg International Airport. Please put your weed in the overhead compartment. We apologize for being diverted from the Miley Cyrus International Airport due to twerking on the runway. Many of you were wondering why we were circling the Grateful Dead International Airport for 7.5 hours. That's when we realized it's not about the destination, it's about the journeyman. I did get to see my dad. He turned 77. Very proud of him. You can tell my dad is in his 70s because he yawns and talks at the same time. Drives me nuts. He'll be chatting along. We took the car down to 6th Street. And, oh, no, he said it was fine. What the heck are you talking about?
Face guy. Picture guy. There. I can't close this thing behind because it's fine. I don't need to.
Yeah, are you in the kitchen? They can't hear me. You know, my brother got my dad for his 77th birthday is a laptop. Yeah, my dad can't open a gas cap, and now he's on Twitter. My dad calls me every morning, 7:30 in the morning. Did you check your email? No, Dad, I'm asleep. To your email. Why? We sent an email. Dad, you don't have to call and verify the email. Creating twice the technological work for yourself. You just check that email. And I check it. What does it say? Call me when you get this. I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, a little match set. My wife insisted on naming our children. She said the names would come to her during the delivery, which is why we have a child named Demerol. And her twin brother Epidural over there in the corner. My dad thinks I should get a minivan because I have kids. I don't want to be a minivan parent. You know, one of those parents lumbering out of the suburbs, looking for a soccer practice and an Olive Garden. Neat, neat. Our kids that are on the honor roll is fully documented on the rear bumper. The 2 perfect kids in the back seat, Megan and Hunter. Aren't they precious? The little yogurt cone. Pass back my Ritalin, Mommy. Little Cameron and Brittany and Miles and Connor and little Zach. I tell you, I've had it with minivan names for kids. What happened to good names for kids? When I was growing up, my friends were Tom, Bill, Sam, Greg. Maybe we check your oil. What happened to good names for kids? When was the last time you met a baby named Larry? Bring me baby Larry. Who are we going to borrow tools from in the future? Tell you a little about myself. I have a poor work ethic. I was told that when I was 16 by my supervisor at Wendy's named Lorne. You got a poor work ethic, son. You know that? You listen to me, hotshot, rock star. Poor work ethic. I'm 16, Lauren. You're 38 and you still work here. I'll get over it. That's what I wanted to say. What actually came out was, sorry, I'm a team player and I'm wearing a hat. Fired from that job. I've been fired from every job I've ever had. That's true. May not make it through this show. I don't know. Maybe I can go and get a room at Jason's mother's house and fired. That's all I've ever heard in my life. Fired. 3 syllables, Slade. Fired. That's how fired you are. Fired. Backwards. Personal record for me, 3 hours, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I was 18. They hired me as a cashier. That's smart. Let's take an aspiring comedian with a poor work ethic. Put him in between big people and their food. What could possibly go wrong? In 3 hours, this guy comes walking up to the counter. What's the difference between your 2-piece dinner and your 4-piece dinner? Let me get out my calculator. Let me log on to the internet. Could it be 2 pieces of chicken? Could you have figured that out if you sat in a honey pot like Pooh Bear and think? Fired. Anyone ever get fired and pack a lunch? Is that the loneliest walk to your car? With the lunch? No job, no future, but you got a sandwich and a pear. I used to work at Pizza Hut Delivery. This is how I answer the phone at Pizza Hut Delivery. Pizza Hut Delivery, can I take your order? Guy at the other end. Do you guys deliver the pizza? Oh, yeah, but we got to use your car. Can you pick me up? And I will need a ride back. It is. It's a complicated world. I got a friend of mine who inserts punctuation into his sentences while he's talking. Do you know someone like that? I don't like driving at night, period. Oh, the sentence is over. That came out of nowhere. I try that, I'm going to paint my house, semicolon. I like red. I find you annoying, exclamation point. Asterisk, see below, douchebag. I am married. I got married recently, second marriage, so no need to applaud. No one applauds second marriages. First marriage, people are like, it's so romantic, it's going to be a wedding. Second marriage, here we go again. All right, folks, you've been great. Thank you for coming into the show.
Oh, fantastic.
Dwight.
Yeah, great job, man. Carmen just wrote, great set, Dwight, period, exclamation point. And you got some other great comments there. I got fired from Del Taco, Dwight, so high five saying I wasn't Taco Bell material. Hey, and then somebody asked me if I could share that again because I did it so fast, which I usually do, but there's the tip information. And also stay afterward if you guys would like, especially the comics, if you wanted to play with us a little bit. We're going to do the Fuegarita after party and give away some Fuegarita spices with Tony, my co-host, and Carmen is his lovely lady who invented Fuegarita. Okay, are you guys ready for your final comedian of the evening?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got lucky. She's very popular and hard to book, and everybody loves her. But she was free tonight, and so she's coming back to join us for a second time. She's been on Colbert. She's been on the Late Late Show. Put your hands together for the very funny Cory Kahaney.
Hey, oh, there I am. Oh, that is really weird with the muted look. Hey, I'm glad you're here. I just need to confess something to all of you. I logged on to do this show at 4:00.
Oh my
I
gosh.
did the math wrong, because I'm in New York. And he said, oh, it's a 7 p.m. Pacific time. And I thought for some reason I was in Hawaii. Starting off with a bang. But it's really good to be here. And any chance I get to perform is great because I love my job. Not so much because I want you to have a good time. I love my job because I like the hours. I mean, look at this. I just started and I'm almost done. I'll tell you something funny. Everybody thinks that my job is, really hard. I was at a party and this woman asked what I do. And I said, I'm a comedian. And her eyes, you had to see her. She was like, that is the hardest job. Oh my God, I could never do your job. And I was flattered, but let's be honest, there are harder jobs. Alec Baldwin's insurance broker, tough job. Will Smith's agent, tough job. It's just the truth. Giuliani's barber, tough job. Nancy Pelosi's Botox person, tough job. Vladimir Putin's food taster. It's an actual job. My sister has a very tough job. She works for Amnesty International. And everyone is always impressed when I say that. She's got it like she's high up. And I asked her about a year after she started, what do they do exactly at Amnesty International? And she was like, what do you mean? They get people out of Somalia. And I said, people are going to Somalia? Who would go to Somalia? She said, people go. I said, well, what happens? She said, they get stuck there. I said, oh, and you get him out? She said, yeah. I said, why don't you just go to the airport with a sign that says, hey, stupid, don't go to Somalia. Listen, you learn something every day, because I live in an apartment building in New York City, and I get in my elevator, and my neighbor's there with luggage. And between you and me, he's got a 3-bedroom apartment, and I'm waiting for him to die. And I said, he's got luggage. And I said, where are you going? And he said, he's going to Florida. I said, Florida? You should go to Somalia. That is the Jason's right. I'm pretty much, I would say almost 100% back to comedy full time. And it means I'm traveling again. And it means that I have to deal with stupid people. Because for some reason, people involved in anything related to travel have some sort of a loss of IQ points. I must be something. Like, I'll give you, I stayed at a hotel and I went to the front desk and I said, excuse me, where's the Starbucks? And he said, you want the one that's open? No, I just want to go look at the logo. I love that logo. I went to CVS. I was traveling, so I bought a travel toothpaste, travel shampoo, travel hairspray. And I kid you not, the woman behind the counter goes, oh, taking a trip? No, I have 2 days to live. I have 2 days to live. Very tough. I was performing on a cruise ship, and one of the first ships back. And all I can tell you about this particular cruise was the couple that were in the cabin next door to me were having an amazing vacation. Every night I was laying there and I could hear the woman in the cabin, and she was very loud. She kept saying, give it to me, give it to me. And then she banged on the wall, give it to me, give it to me. So I banged on the wall, give it to her. Give it to her. And then a few days later, we passed each other on the way to breakfast the next morning, and I found out they were fighting over the remote. Also, I'm back to flying again, and I think something happened to flight attendants during the pandemic, because they've all become obsessed with trash. Have you flown? Anybody flown in the past 6 months? Yeah.
Yes.
The second you sit down, they start asking if you have any garbage. They have a bag. Have you seen this? Got any trash? Got any garbage? Can I take this? Can I take this? We hadn't taken off yet. Is that garbage? Can I take that? Any trash? She wanted to take can I take this? I said, this full can of soda you gave me 60 seconds ago? They look like raccoons. Trash, trash, trash. I felt so bad. I started cleaning out my purse so that every time she walked by, I had something in the bag. Yeah. I had a birthday. My husband got me a Kindle, which is nice, right? Do you know what I think about a Kindle? I think when you give somebody a Kindle, it's like saying, I love you, but not enough to buy you an iPad. But get this. So he says, I got you the Kindle because you're on the computer too much. And, we've had a pandemic. What else was I supposed to do? Read? And I have to be, he's right. I am on the computer too much. I'm on the computer so much. We were in bed together and I said, hey, could you scroll down? Don't get excited, Randy. He was just blocking the TV. It wasn't anything. I have to say, I did kind of get addicted to online shopping. It became a real problem. Does everybody shop online here?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really dangerous because seriously, when you're a woman of a certain age and you have a credit card and you're already up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you can do a lot of damage.
True.
The only complaint I have about the online shopping, and maybe you feel this way, is when you get to the last page and you're going to pay, you're checking out, right? And at the very bottom, they always ask you if you have a promo code.
Oh, yeah. Then you try and find
Which tells you something. Somebody has a promo code. It's not me. It's never me. I've never met anyone who had the promo code. You Google it, right? You Google what's the promo code, and it's never right. They never have the right code. You tape it in, it always says invalid code or expired code. One time I was so determined to get a discount, I just sat there for an hour making up codes. Sale 20, sale 15, spring 20, spring 15, 10 off, 15 off. Finally, I just typed in "eat me" and I got 15% off. I also think that when you shop online, because apparently everybody else on this group does, do you read the reviews?
Yes.
Online? You do? Yeah. Can I give you some advice? You should never read the reviews. You know why?
Why?
I write reviews.
Oh, ooh.
I'm going to read this review, which is not going to be easy with the online, but this is an actual review that I wrote for a hat because my husband wanted to buy this hat for biking. Apparently you need a specific hat for biking. And the reviews were mixed. So I had to post a review that would put it over the edge. It would finally pull the trigger on this hat because it was going on for days. He kept asking my opinion. And I said, how much more research could you do for this hat? It's like you're planning a bank heist. Anyway, I didn't want to oversell it, Bill. So the title of my review is Pretty Good Hat. This is the actual review I put up. This is the best hat that I have ever bought. I've been wearing this hat on top of my head for 2 weeks, and now my life is completely different. My wife and kids have moved back in with me because the guy she left me for wore the lesser quality knockoff version of this hat. Since getting my hat, I got a raise, a promotion, and a better parking spot. I can now bench press 315 pounds and my eczema has completely disappeared.
God.
Whenever I wear my hat, my IQ rises by 37 points and my penis doubles in size. This hat has given me the life I always wanted but never thought I deserved. This is the hat to make your dreams come true.
There you go. I like the review.
And the good news, Nancy, is he bought the hat.
Is it true?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I posted that. You have to look for it. I'm not going to tell you what the product is, but I did post it. Someday I'm going to read my Yelp reviews because they go on and on for days. Every so often a family member will call me and they're like, I just read the review that you left for Senior Frogs and you were brutal. And I'm like, I don't think it's hurting them.
Probably not.
You have to understand, before I was a comedian, I worked in hotels and I was a catering manager. And so I lived for 12 years in the service industry. And I think like that still, like for many years, all of my waiters were Spanish speakers and all of my busboys were Spanish speakers. and they never got my name right. My name is Kahaney. You see it written there somewhere, but they would read it and they would say, Missa Cajones. I'd walk into a room and I'd hear Missa Cajones, pick up line 2, Missa Cajones. One of my waiters said to me once, he goes, Missa Cory, do you believe in Jesus? And I said, of course, he's the best dishwasher we ever had. And so the funny thing is, my husband really thinks I speak Spanish because, you know, I can order in a Mexican restaurant, you know, una cerveza, por favor. And he thinks I'm really sophisticated. And we had a guy do some work in our bathroom, and my husband called up. He goes, Cory, you speak Spanish. Ask the guy if the grout they're using in the tile is lime-based and is it toxic? You know, I might as well ask him where they stand on stem cell research. Because my Espanol is so bueno. Crazy. No, we had some epic fights. Is everybody with? I see a lot of couples out there. Were you with each other during the lockdown, during the whole thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It tested the relationship, wouldn't you say? A little bit.
No.
Yeah.
Which is why my wife is in the bedroom and I'm here.
I feel like it's a good sign that we're still together because we made it through it. But when I say we were tested, I mean, I had never spent this much time with this man. I mean, we're together 20 years and I used to be on the road half the year. And that's why my marriage was so good. I mean, we had an anniversary and he goes, do you remember that day that you walked down the aisle? And I said, yes. And I put my things in the overhead compartment. And then I got to be alone for a week. Yeah. So much time together. And we had one really epic fight. It was bad. And they say, don't go to bed angry. So he gets into bed next to me and I patted his arm and I said, hey, look, I know I'm not your favorite person today. And he punched the pillow. He punched the pillow and he said, you are my favorite person. That's how pathetic my life is right now. And only married people know that was a really good compliment. I'm going to take it. But now we have the vaccine and we're moving on. Isn't that great?
Oh, yeah. Great.
We have the vaccine. I remember when I got the second poke. The nurse was so sweet. It was almost like there were trumpets. Remember when you got the second vaccine? Yeah. They were like, it was so, and the nurse said to me, okay, now you can go hug your mother. And I said, all right, but I'm going to need a shovel. I was with some people from England and they told me that England is 93% vaccinated. Can you believe that? And they said, what about the US? And I said, I think it's like 64%. And hey, are we wrapping or is this my warning?
That's the light. I should have just been yes, it's just the light.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Because I'm wrapping. But I blame the athletes. Can I tell you that, guys? I blame all these athletes who won't get the vaccine because when you interview them, they all say the same thing. I don't trust the research. Let me tell you something, guys. You know who does the research? You know who makes the vaccine? Pfizer. Pfizer makes Viagra. Do you think anybody checked that research? Anybody even looked at the data? No. I'm going to tell you right now, when the FDA had their big meeting to see whether they were going to approve Viagra, they didn't even touch the Danish. Where's the samples? Where's the samples? And then Moderna basically is the same as Merck. It's a subsidiary of Merck. Merck makes Propecia. What is Propecia? It helps bald guys grow hair. You don't have to trust the research because these companies have already done the research. And these companies you know and love, one of them helps you get laid, and the other one helps you find somebody to get laid. See, Bill Anderson, you want to know, you're thinking Johnson & Johnson. All right, let's go there. Let's go there. What is Johnson & Johnson famous for? Baby oil. I rest my case. All right, thanks everybody. Be well, be healthy.
All right. Cory Kahaney, everybody. Let her hear it. Cory Kahaney. And how about one more round of applause for Dwight Slade, Denise Carter, Dave Devito, Kristi McHugh,